Hello everybody, how's it going? This is Nemnon. Welcome to a survival hunter guide. Today I will be covering PvP mostly, but I'll also touch upon PvE a little bit. Now, one thing I do want to say is I am not a rank 1 gladiator or a world first raider, so the things I have to say may not be necessarily be the best. Survival is a very weird spec, and it's kind of tough to master, but I think I have a pretty good idea of it. I've been practicing a lot, and I've been quote-unquote researching as much as I could to try to figure things out so I can provide the best information as possible so you can play well, because people have been asking for a guide since I've been doing a lot of survival hunter videos. However, in those videos I haven't necessarily been showcasing how to play properly, I've just been messing around. So, alright, so I guess to begin with, we'll go with talents, talk about that. The first tier is, in some situations, it's kind of personal preference. I play throwing axes just for like random battlegrounds, whatever. But for the most case, you're gonna want to go with Way and Makathal with if you're doing raiding or arena. It's really annoying. I hate this talent a lot, but it's pretty strong because it you stack it 4 times, and then you just keep resetting it. So, and if you look, you see the buff is in the top left corner. So you end up increasing your attack power by 12%, and you can just reset it often. You know, it's not necessarily that big of a deal since you're going to be quite often using Raptor Strike as just a dump, focus dump. So it's not that big of a deal. I've tested out that, and I've also tested out Animal Instincts for just like 5-mans, and I actually really like this one. I'm not entirely sure how big of a deal it is, but the mastery is definitely quite nice. The haste is not, and the movement speed's pretty garbage, as you can probably imagine. But you're usually flanking, striking on cooldown, and these effects can stack. However, they won't stack for very long. And then throwing axes, this talent's pretty good for world PvP, battlegrounds, and for PvE it's good on bosses that there's a lot of movement, you know, like, for example, maybe Serpentrix from Eye of Azshara. So basically, any boss that kind of moves around, so you might lose your Way of Makathal stack. So you can go with this if you'd like. It's, from what I've tested out, it's actually not that big of a deal. Like, this whole line, despite the 12% attack power, it doesn't seem to help out as much as it may sound. And then, alright. So now let's go into the next one. And in most cases, you're going to want to go Snake Hunter. It's amazing. You know, there's a reason why on beta they nerfed it. It was originally 1 minute, but now it's 1.5. So it goes with your burst. Crows is pretty decent too if you're doing questing. Basically any solo stuff. So if you want to do like BGs, World PvP, etc. Crows isn't a bad choice. I would definitely recommend this if you're doing like world quests or anything like that. Just because it can reset if you can kill them fast enough. Mortal Wounds, I haven't tested this out, but I don't think there's even a point. I'm not even going to waste my time with Mortal Wounds because it's a 2% chance per tick. And how often does this tick? Over 12 seconds. So it's... And honestly, it's not that big of a deal even. Like, Mongoose... It might seem like Mongoose Bite getting a proc is really great. But it's kind of not. If anything, it's a bit clunky. Because it's nice, but it's just not good enough. This is much better. I'll show you guys the rotation afterwards. And then for this line, post haste, 100%. Forest Rider is just, I don't know why they created this. Dash is probably the worst thing they've ever created in the world. Aspect of the Cheetah has a 3-minute cooldown, and it just increases the duration by 3 seconds. Which is pretty bad. We don't even know if that increases the boost, like the big speed boost or the minor speed boost, because it starts at 3 seconds really fast and then it slows down. Now here's the next one. This okay, if you're doing PvE, this one, approved traps 100%. This is amazing, and if you're doing arena, this is also your go-to as well for the most part. Caltrops, I haven't really tested this around too much. It doesn't seem that great because you do have Tar Trap, which slows them down. Same thing, except Caltrop seems to do more damage. I personally don't think it's worth it. I think these other twos are really great. Steel Trap, if you take this, you lose your Freezing Trap. So if you want this one, it's basically when you don't, if you want some extra burst. And so once again, another thing like Battlegrounds. Battlegrounds is probably one of the only ways I would take this, because improved traps isn't amazing, because, you know, it turns this into a 15-second cooldown instead of a 30, which in Battlegrounds isn't particularly useful because fights don't usually last a whole long time. So when you get into each fight, it's going to be reset anyway. So if you take Steel Trap, you can get some extra damage. It actually does a significant bleed. However, it does have a 1-minute cooldown, which sucks. But you don't have any CC at all if you take this talent. That's one of the major down things. So overall, improved traps is better. And the next one, this whole line is pretty garbage. Ranger's Net is really good in Arena, because what you can do is you can create a macro. I don't have one quite yet, but like a focus target macro or Arena 1, 2, 3 macro, and so you can throw that at the healer, and then so that way they're standing still and you can throw a freezing trap on them without any difficulty. Likewise, you can also do the same thing with Harpoon. You can create a focus macro Harpoon to the healer, and then that'll root him, and then you can trap him. It's pretty simple. It works that way if you want. Sticky Bomb is garbage. I wouldn't ever take it. It's not a great knockback. If it was similar to the lines of Warlords of Draenor or Explosive Trap knockback, then maybe you could see some play. And Camouflage is just... I don't know. Just... I don't know why it's a talent. I don't know why it's on this one. This is cool if you want to sneak around, I guess. I don't know. That's basically it. It doesn't really serve any purpose. It can work in 2s, maybe even 3s if you're going against like some rogues and stuff and you don't want them to get an opener on you. But regardless, Ranger's Net is actually pretty good in Arena, so I personally would go with this. And in this line, Dragon's Fire Grenade for pretty much all situations. It's a really great AoE. 30-second cooldown's not too bad. Butchery, no. Just completely get rid of that talent and it'll be fine. Serpent Sting, I haven't tested this one out, but nobody really uses this. It's probably not bad. It's a nice passive if that's what you want to take, if you don't want to use Dragon's Fire Grenade. And one thing I do want to mention real quick is if you're using Aspect of the Turtle, you can still use Explosive Trap and Explosive Grenade. In case you know, it's actually quite useful. Because, you know, if you're trying to defensive, you can do some damage too, but just go with Dragon's Fire Grenade. And then for this line, Expert Trapper is kind of ideal. These two are just not good. Speeding Cobra is really weird. And then Aspect of the Beaks is garbage. Actually, in PvE it might actually be kind of good. Hold on, what's this do? No, never mind. I forgot. This increases the damage of Explosive Trap too, so this is better in pretty much all situation. And if you're doing PvP, your pet is most likely going to be Cunning, because you have Roar of Sacrifice, which makes it so you can't take crits, and then you have Bullheaded, which is a trinket for your pet, which is great. These two are really not good at all, so you want to be Cunning. So, where is it? Aspect of the Beast is just a slow, and if you need a slow that badly, you can either take Ranger's Net or something else. If you switch it, then it turns into Wing Clip. And if you're in Arena, odds are your target's going to be slowed a lot, so you don't need this. Just go with this. This is so much better. And then, I haven't looked too much into the other talents. I'm not too high level. It's a serious grind. But one thing I know is this is the big thing. Master's Call. They moved it into here from Warlords. It's just amazing. Serpent Sting, I imagine, is really good too. But it says offensive cast. Now, I haven't tested this out, so I don't know if a heal counts as an offensive cast, or if it's referring to something like Frostbolt, Lava Burst, that sort of thing. If so, then Spider Sting isn't amazing. It's okay. Here's how it kind of works. This is great against kind of caster cleaves. You know, for example, Mage Warlock. This could be really good because you could really shut down their damage for a few seconds. You know, because you don't really always. Well, I mean, because you're gonna be using your kick on them most of the time, especially for Polymorph. You actually, I don't think they even have UA, do they? I don't think Unstable Affliction is a thing anymore, but whatever. And then Scorpion Sting is actually really good against melee cleaves. Reduces their physical crit chance by 50%. for 6 seconds, and there's a really good chance you're gonna have 100% uptime on that. And then Dragon Scale Armor, oh, wrong tier. This one is weird. This one's good if you are training healers, because, you know, it's another reduction. Now, I haven't tested a lot of this, sorry. I haven't tested to see if this stacks with Vicious Wounds, I believe it's called. Where is it? My pet has the ability. Here we go. Mortal Wounds, which reduces their healing by like 15 or 20%. It doesn't say on the tooltip right now. I don't know if it stacks together with that. If it does, that's incredible. But other than that, you're really only going to be taking this mostly if you're going to be killing a healer. So for the most part, if you're doing like BGs or what arenas, I would pick one of these two otherwise. Otherwise, yeah, Master's Call is great. I don't, you know, this line doesn't seem great. I probably wouldn't choose this because it reduces the duration of trap by, I think, 1 or 2 seconds, which is kind of a big deal. Not to mention this isn't great. You can take Psyche Chart, you know, against melee, slow him down for even longer. I don't know. I mean, it slows their attack speed too, so I guess you could do that if you want to. It's good for peeling and stuff. And then Survival Tactics is a must, pretty much. This is huge. Like, if you're fighting Boomkins, Warlocks, do this, and you get rid of all your dots. That's what it does. And, you know, the damage reduction by 99% for 1.5 seconds, that's just like a bonus little thing. And this, of course, against melees, you know, makes it so they do a lot less damage to you. And this is, I don't know how I feel about this one. I feel like it's on the similar level of Survival Tactics, except not necessarily as good. It's more consistent because it reduces everything, but this just gets rid of everything, and Feign Death is only a 30-second cooldown, so yeah. And in you're gonna want to take Gladiator's Medallion. If you're an Orc, you could potentially take Relentless. I don't know. I wouldn't feel comfortable taking these two. That's kind of more advanced type PvP, so yeah, just stick with Gladiator's Medallion, and that's about it for that. And for your pets, you definitely want something with Mortal Wounds or Vicious Wounds. Oh my gosh, where can I find it? This thing. It's called Mortal Wounds, which reduces their cooldown. The type of pets that give that are the Ravens from Kunlai, which is what this one is. Now, there are 2 different types of Ravens. One Raven does not give it. I would suggest looking at petopia.com or .org, whatever it's called. And then you have Scorpions that also give it, and Marsh Beasts, which give it. And if you're a Beastmaster, you can take Devil Swords. So that'll give that. But it's all personal preference, because for the Devil Sword, I don't think they give crit anymore. So you can choose whatever you want. But this is a survival guide, so we're not going to talk about Beast Mastery. So that's about it. Now, I guess, did I go into this main stuff? Yes, I did. Okay, so now we can go into more rotation. This is where it gets a little weird. Hold on, let's fix this way, the Mok'Nathal, because, you know, that's fun. When you start, okay, let's just put you up there, and then you're gonna start with, you know, get your stacks going, get your 4 stack, and then you want to throw your dots. You start with Lacerate, go into, oh my god, go into Explosive Trap, and then Dragon's Fire. And then you can go into your 3 Mongoose Bites. I usually like to go into 3, then I pop my Aspect of the Eagle, do some more, and then I pop my Snake to get more, and then I just dump those. I let my stack fall. You're not supposed to do that. But then you do this. I'm actually getting a million of these. And then you just do this once you run out of Mongoose. You're going to want to keep up your Raptor Strike the entire time, though. But that's kind of the main thing. And then afterwards you refresh your dots, keep up your Raptor Strike, and then use Flanking Strike as a filler. And then once this is off cooldown and you need some more filler, then just keep doing Raptor Strike. But for the most part, you just keep up your dots, keep up your Raptor Strike, and then you save your Mongoose Bites. Try not to dump your Mongoose Bite until you have 3. And then if you have this up, it'd be good to wait for this as well, because you can get like a 6 stack. And then you can do this. And one thing that's important to note about Fear of the Eagle is it increases the duration of Mongoose. So like, if you see here, I'll do 2, it lasts for 12 seconds, wait a second, I do this, now it lasts for 13 seconds. Which is not necessarily super useful, but it's like, yay, I guess. Yeah. And then, of course, you have your, some PvP stuff. You got Roar, Sacrifice, a minute cooldown. I use a Mouseover macro, so I can just mouse over somebody, press Shift-C, and it gives me that. So it makes it so they're immune to crits. But it also makes it so my pet takes damage, so you have to make sure to heal your pet, because your pet's going to take a lot of damage. And it's something you want to keep up anyway. Then you have Bullheaded, which, like I said, is a 3-minute trinket. And then Star Trap, which is pretty useful for slowing people down, peeling people away from everyone. You try to save everyone. And then, what's up? Okay, Fury Eagle, 2-minute cooldown. Right now, it's not amazing. But with this, I think it's this one. I messed up. I messed up my artifact. I went the wrong way. But this one is amazing because it increases the damage you deal 30% flat. And then you combine that with this, which reduces the cooldown, so you can activate it quite frequently. I don't know the exact math, but it'll probably be around a minute and a half, minute 40, which is pretty good for, like this, the main stats it gives is kind of eh, but the main thing is this, the aspect of the Skylord. So I would highly recommend going left first. I wasn't really thinking too much when I did this, so I went right, because, when you look at it, this stuff seems pretty good. But this stuff's good too, because you get After Strike, Explosive Trap Damage, and then Aspect of the Skylord. And then, this is pretty good. I haven't tested this on the beta or anything, so I don't know how good the bleed is. But I'm sure it's decent enough. It's nothing mind-blowing, I'm sure, but yeah. But you want to go left, for sure, and pick that up. And then you're going to want to get up to this, and then probably that. And then you can go this way directly. I would probably, forget this, like the middle stuff. As soon as you get this, make sure you get those, and then you can go left, because this is really good. Increasing Mongoose Bite's damage is insane. And as far as this, oh my god, where am I looking at? Oh yeah, I want to be there. Yeah, you got your Storm, Iron, and Blood. Yeah, these are, I guess you just work with what you can get. I got pretty lucky with some of them. Now, oh yeah, I guess I probably should have said this before, but okay. One thing I forgot to mention is stat priority. Now this is a little weird. Crit is definitely very important, and mastery is not so much, because as good as it sounds being able to get an additional Mongoose Bite, it's like, I have a lot of mastery right now because I main Beast Mastery for most of my stuff, so it's just got a lot of mastery. But for the most part, you're going to want crit and versatility, probably mostly versatility and then crit. And yeah, that's just about it. No chance here, and then, of course, you want your versatility and chance. Give you some, flat damage and then crit. And, legendaries, take what you can get, I suppose. Alright, I think that was pretty decent. Let's see, is there anything else I should have covered? I don't know. I'm probably missing something. I'm always missing something. But anyway, I think that's about it. This wasn't as long as I thought. This isn't going to take as long as I thought it was going to take. So I'm sure there's more, like I said, I didn't cover. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. I tried to incorporate PvP and PvE together because a lot of it kind of I don't know if overlaps, but works together, that sort of thing. Yeah. But one thing is, survival is, it kind of seems like survival is one of the strongest specs right now for PvE when it comes to hunters in general. But it's weird. It's a fun spec. It's really good. But I've been a hunter for like 2.5 years now, 3 years, and I just like being ranged, so that's why I don't main it. But it is a lot of fun. One of my main cons for the spec is it feels weird because you're throwing your traps, and it's just, I don't know, it almost feels like the GCD is a bit slow, or just is kind of clunky. It's not a very fluid rotation. Come back here, pet, please don't attack. There you go, obey me. And that's about it. I don't know about Carve. Like, Carve is weird. If you're in a serious AoE situation, go ahead. If you want to use Carve, it's probably not that big of a deal. It doesn't do a whole lot of damage. There is a artifact talent for it, which, you know, increases its damage, but it's like, how much it matters? I don't know. You'd have to test that out yourself to see if you think it's worth it or not. I personally just think it matters, really. It costs a lot of focus, 40. You know, it's not amazing regeneration, so you gotta be really careful with that. Let's see. For macros, I don't have all the macros yet that I should have, but of course you kind of need to create one for Bullheaded and Roar of Sacrifice. It's right here. I can post my macros in the description. I don't have many. I keep forgetting to create. I don't know if I have one for Kick. Yeah, I don't have one for Muzzle yet. I have for like Beast Mastery and Marksman. I have one for the counter shop. I don't have one for Muzzle. I was having I personally use focus macros. A lot of people use Arena 1, 2, 3 macros, but it conserves action bar space because I can only use ults and shifts pretty much because I can't my hand doesn't press the control, so I'm kind of limited as to what hotkeys I can make, and I don't like binding too much to my mouse despite it having 12 buttons. But anyways, that is it for this little guide. I really hope I was able to kind of inform you guys well enough so you can get into the spec. I know hunters are usually very simple. They've always been very simple, so it's never too difficult to get into it until now. Oh yeah, one last thing I want to mention is Fury Eagle, amazing. It's your best AoE ability. So once you get your dots off, get your 3 Mongoose Bites and do that, and you'll just do insane DPS. So yeah. I'll try to get some more survival videos out because I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I'll also create more. I'll create some Beast Mastery, Marksman. I don't think I need to create guides for that though. Unless people ask for it, then I can possibly do it, but those ones aren't nearly as complicated as this one. Yeah, so there are many different ways you can play it. It's a melee spec, but you can play it kind of like a range spec, especially if you take throwing axes. I personally don't like that, because it's like, if I'm gonna play like that, I might as well just play Beast Mastery or Marksman. So I know some people think that with Survival you're supposed to play it kind of like a ranged melee hybrid. I personally think that just is kind of ridiculous and defeats the purpose of it being a melee spec. So, you know, that's why I just, you know, play Beast Mastery or something crazy like that. But yeah, I'm in the end of the video here because I keep rambling on. This is my first ever guide, and I'm kind of, I didn't plan anything I was going to say specifically, so I'm kind of winging it all, as you might be able to tell. But yeah, thank you. If there's anything you think I said that was wrong, or that is, you know, you think is better, or whatever, feel free to leave in the comments. Any help is definitely appreciated. I'm just trying to inform as much as I possibly can, because I know there's a lot of people who don't understand the spec, and I've been playing it a bit since beta, and I follow a lot of the rank 1 players, hunters, and you know, I've seen them play survival as well. If there is, I mean, for PvP, if you're interested in watching some high-level survival, I can link you down 2 Twitch streams that I like, which is Dillypoo and Jellybeans. Unfortunately, Jellybeans doesn't stream a whole lot, but they both are currently, as of recording, maining survival as their main, and they're very good at it. But see you guys later. Hope you guys enjoyed.